Hi, welcome to She Spice. So Jo is worn out of being painted as the lowlife in her bombed romantic tale with Ben Affleck, and she's this near spilling all the frightful tea on Ben, so the world can choose who the genuine lowlife is here, since bits of hearsay have their part begun going viral. Jo has been the butt of all the jokes. You know exactly the same thing that happened quite a while back. Anyway, Jo is currently uncovering Ben for exploiting her, involving her for her cash, connecting with his ex, and beginning a slanderous attack against her. However, it deteriorates. Ben has likewise supposedly been filling his addictions on Jo's dime, and she is simply tired of covering for him while he paints himself as this honest sheep. Yet as Jo still low-key trusting Ben will come to his faculties and cancel the separation, and is she truly doing this fair to get back at him for humiliating her? We should separate it. The signs were by and large present. See this face. This man is a foundation grant-winning director for his film, One Best Picture. He understands what a hit is, and the sky is the limit. From there, significantly, he understands what a hit is. He did practically everything, except telling her, kindly don't do this to us. He took one gander at the content, and he resembled a darling child. Ben Affleck plainly doesn't have a clue about the lady he wed all that well since, in such a case that he did then, he would be aware there's no way in damnation she'll permit him to only waltz in and out of her life, however he sees fit. If word on the road is anything to go by then maybe. Finished with J-Lo, however, J-Lo is a long way from finished. With him, Ben can affirmed that he was finished with the marriage when he finalized the negotiation on a $20 million home for himself, behind J-Lo's back. As though that wasn't tricky enough, Ben slipped into their common $60 million chateau and moved his things out while J-Lo was away on holiday. He also didn't appear for her Bridgerton-themed birthday celebration, despite the fact that she went all out and appeared to be living it up. It didn't take long for reports to begin zooming around that Ben was finished with marriage, and that J-Lo was the one postponing the split on the off chance that you some way or another missed it. Bits of gossip about the split first began a couple of months prior when Ben and J-Lo were spotted without their wedding groups, since what kind of recently hitched couple would remove their rings scarcely 2 years into the marriage? A source later affirmed that pressures had been intense in their family for quite a long time, and that even though they were still attached, they were living independently, as per the source. Jen and Ben's relationship isn't over yet. However, they have been remaining in separate homes, and the strain has been high. They are requiring one moment to figure out what every one of them is going through. Also, the two of them have been very down. This was back in May. Quick forward to August, and things are looking pretty terrible for the couple. However, what makes this a multiple times more chaotic is the way that Jo is enduring the very shot that she took all those quite a while back, and Ben is simply drifting through like this, which is the most ordinary thing on the planet. You wouldn't actually accept that Ben was the one who came beseeching her to give him an additional opportunity, as indicated by one source. She's enraged. He has embarrassed her. He was the person who started getting back together. Ben needs to drop the how to pull baddies without bringing anything to the table, since he some way or another persuaded Jo that he was so infatuated with her that she plunged into her pockets and pulled out $20 million to make an undertaking about their romantic tale. She ought to have recently utilized that cash to get her go-to bodega request or something to that effect, as indicated by the source. He's embarrassed her since she made no joking matter that he's her first love. They recently had 2 weddings a long time ago. This is some sort of record. They're not small children, kid gracious, and the thing about him not offering whatever could be of some value is likely the realest thing about their relationship so far. Apparently, Ben did dislike spending any cash on anything. On the off chance that there was a bill to be paid, Ben would protest and mutter right out of it, passing on Jo to cover the check. As per sources near her, this is something that irritated Jo the most. This man made them milk her ledger to support their elite superstar way of life. A source broke the entire thing down, expressing one of the semi-secret privileged insights are that Jennifer paid for a lot of their conjugal costs, and presently she feels he owes her. She's adding up that large number of personal luxury plane bills she puts on her plastic, the lodgings and Dinners, garments, espresso runs gas. The significant expense of living was finished on her dime. She paid the lion offer for that $60 million chateau. They purchased two. Ben took such a lot of cash from her basically that she's saying, and now that Ben needs to leave her hanging child, she's coming for all that he holds dear, beginning with his cash. Clearly, Joe is requesting a full stock of what she spent versus what he spent and needs all the cash back she contributed. Goodness. However, she's simply getting ready as of late insiders uncovered that Joe has been the one holding up the separation since she needs to drive Ben to stay in the marriage. Ben even had his kin go to the media with accounts of how he's holding off on recording the separation since he's very defensive of her. There were additionally bits of gossip about how Joe has not completely acknowledged it is finished, and she's simply wrecked that her fantasy marriage has finished anyway. Incidentally, Joe is simply holding tight due to how humiliating the entire circumstance has been for her, particularly on the grounds that nearly everybody in her inward circle cautioned her about getting back with Ben. However, she declined to tune in as per an insider, but Lopez's mom likes Ben Affleck. He's an AAA opening. The source even uncovered that Ben and Joe's chief, Benny Medina, can't handle each other. They try not to get along, but there's still awful blood between them. The illness between them goes back to 2003, when Joe terminated Benny as her chief, as per insiders. Ben was the justification for why Joe and Benny Medina headed out in different directions. Obviously, he didn't think Ben was really great for Joe, and this caused them to conflict a ton, as expected. Joe put her man prior to all the other things, and she paid for it beyond all doubt. When the commitment at long last disintegrated, she needed to get the bits of her harmed vocation. It required 20 years for her to get back on board and follow Benny Medina's assistance. Tragically, she had chosen to discard it all again by getting back with Ben. Even after her closest companion, Leah Remy, cautioned her about him, this caused a gigantic battle between them that almost finished their companionship. Leah was purportedly so frantic at Jay, as a matter of fact, for getting back with Ben that she didn't go to the wedding like accuracy. All that her companions cautioned her about began showing scarcely 2 years into the marriage. Joe's internal circle accepts Ben has been terrible to her since the separation tales began. Her companions have grumbled about Ben's awful demeanor following his conjugal issues. An insider said he was such a blissful person for all of 2023, yet this year has been a totally different creature. Ben has had too much going on yet sadly that makes him hopeless to be around yet. This isn't the first time Joe's internal circle has grumbled about Ben being an opening to Joel. A different insider as of late uncovered that Ben has been causing problems for Joel, since they wed on the off chance that individuals would be able to see what she has truly gone through. They would be more straightforward on her. Ben is an extraordinary person, yet he can be cranky and a killjoy. I think the world saw that in photographs like when they were at the Grammys last year. He wouldn't grin if they perceived how it truly was. They would not assault her. He chain smokes and cusses, and appears to be bothered a great deal of the time. Extraordinary chief, an entertainer, yet not a part of. Giggles with him, you know he's a awesome dad. However, they said Jenny has had enough, and she sincerely attempted yet she can do not anymore. It's not getting any better. More regrettable young lady doesn't sound like somebody who is so miserable and discouraged about separating. She sounds like she's simply tired of Ben's jokes. Furthermore, needs to continue on with her personal business. Of course, she could feel miserable and exhausted at a similar time. However, from all that we've heard, Jayla sounds more like she's humiliated that she succumbed to Ben's trickery once more and went similarly as spending her cash to make their relationship the stuff of imagination. Child, anybody would feel embarrassed. Said if their spouse proceeded to fire attaching with his ex before they even documented separate papers. Ben and his ex Jennifer Collect have been spotted together numerous times, and each time Ben isn't wearing his wedding band. Even before he purchased his new house, Jen Gather was spotted pulling up to the carport of the house he was leasing, attempting to look all secretive. Roads are saying this was Ben's arrangement up and down. His heart was continuously with Jen, who not at all like Joe shares that significant number of his convictions, like no online entertainment for the children, no paparazzi, keep everything hush. And now that Joe is far removed, he can at last go back to the lady he genuinely needs and have his cheerful ever after with his children. Obviously, you can't blame Ben for needing Who he needs, however, was it, truth be told, important to involve Joe as a brace to find his genuine sentiments at his huge progress in years while Joe isn't taking all of this resting, either, as per a source. Joe is prepared to destroy Ben if he doesn't tidy up this wreck. The source said she isn't the person who abandoned their marriage, and she's inclination is truly consumed and is determined to even the score if he had remained in the marriage like a great kid she could never have disapproved of. Yet he deserted her and at last Jenner. Subscribe She Spice for more videos.